Hey everyone! So, have you ever felt like you're putting in the hours studying, but the results just aren't there? Well, this explainer is for you. We're about to unlock a whole toolkit, all backed by science for learning that actually works. Let's dive in.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're staring at a textbook, your eyes start to glaze over, and then it hits you. You've just read the same paragraph 5 times and have absolutely no idea what it said. It's got to be one of the most frustrating things about studying.
But here's the thing. The answer isn't just to study harder or chain yourself to the desk for even longer. No way. It's about completely changing your approach. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to do that, using strategies that are actually proven by cognitive science.
All right, first things first, we're going to tackle the 2 biggest hurdles right out of the gate: managing your time and, well, making what you learn actually stay in your brain. Think of these techniques as the foundation for a truly smart study system.
Okay, so let me introduce you to the Pomodoro technique. It sounds fancy, but it's this beautifully simple method that's all about enhancing your focus. And the key here is that it works with your brain's natural attention span, not against it. The whole idea is to stop that mental fatigue before it even has a chance to set in.
So, here's how it works, and it's super easy. You just pick one task, and you focus on it completely for 25 minutes. Timer goes off, you take a quick 5-minute break, do that 4 times, and then you get a longer break, like 15 to 30 minutes. This whole structure is so important because it respects your brain's limits. It helps you manage that cognitive load and really truly prevent burnout.
And look, the proof is right here in the data. This is wild. This chart shows a study where students who used the Pomodoro technique scored a full 12 percentage points higher on their exams. And get this, they did it while studying for less time. That's the power of this kind of focused, structured work. We're talking less time, way better results. Okay, so now you've got your focus dialed in with these 25-minute sprints. That's awesome, but focus is really only half the battle, right? How do you make sure all that information you're taking in actually sticks? Well, that's exactly where our next technique comes into play. So let's compare 2 totally different ways to practicing. Most of us, and I'm guilty of this too, we do what's called blocked practice. You study chapter 1 until you feel like you've got it down, then you move on to chapter 2. It feels really productive, but the research shows there's a much more powerful way: interleaving. This is where you actually mix things up. Maybe you do 20 minutes of math, then switch to 20 minutes of physics, then 20 of chemistry, and then you circle back around.
So why on earth is this method, which feels a little harder, so much better? Well, it's because it actually forces your brain to work. It's like a mental workout. Instead of just mindlessly repeating one thing over and over, you have to constantly reach back into your memory and pull out different rules, different solutions. Scientists call this desirable difficulty, and it's what strengthens those neural pathways, helps you tell concepts apart, and ultimately builds a much deeper, more permanent understanding.
Okay, let's totally shift gears for a minute. These cognitive techniques, they're kind of like the software, right? But even the best software is useless if the hardware, and in this case we're talking about your brain, isn't running properly. So now we need to talk about the actual physical fuel your brain needs to be at its best. And this is going to sound almost too simple, but just think about this for a second. Your brain, it's nearly 75% water. I mean, that's wild. So when you're dehydrated, even a little bit, your brain feels it right away. It's like the most basic fundamental thing it needs to function. And the impact is just staggering. I mean, look at this. Studies show that being even mildly dehydrated can slow down your reaction time by 12 to 18%. Think about that. That's the difference between a mind that's sharp and quick and one that's just struggling to keep up. So the big takeaway here is that this isn't just about feeling thirsty. It's not just about slightly slower reflexes. Dehydration literally attacks the core skills you absolutely need for studying: your attention, your working memory, your ability to make decisions. It's why staying hydrated is just non-negotiable. It's not important. All right, so fueling your brain during the day? Check. That's one half of the equation. But there's another half, and it is every bit as important. And that's how you let your brain rest, recover, and actually consolidate everything you just learned. Yep, you guessed it. Let's talk about sleep.
Okay, here's a number that might just make you want to put your phone down tonight. Seriously, research has found that just 2 hours of using a tablet or a phone in the evening can cut your body's production of melatonin, that really important hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep, by more than half, 55%.
And the way this works is actually pretty simple, but it's also really destructive.
That blue light coming from our screens, it's a specific wavelength that our eyes use to tell our internal clock whether it's day or night. So when you're scrolling at night, you're basically sending a signal to your brain that says, hey, the sun is still up. Time to be awake. It completely messes with your ability to fall asleep, and it totally sabotages the quality of the sleep you do end up getting.
All right, so we've covered your mind, we've covered your body. For our last piece of the puzzle, let's zoom out and look at the space around you. Your physical environment is such a powerful tool, and the cool thing is you can actually engineer it to get rid of distractions and help you get into that deep, focused road.
First up on the list, lighting. Seriously, don't try to study in a dark cave. The goal here is what they call layered lighting. You want some general ambient light so the room doesn't feel gloomy, but then you also need a focused task lamp right on your desk to prevent eye strain. Even the color of the light bulb matters. That neutral white light is best for staying alert. And oh, watch out for glare on your screen from a window. It seems like a small thing, but it is a massive, silent energy drain.
Okay, next up, ergonomics. You gotta remember, any kind of discomfort is a distraction. That adjustable chair? It's not a luxury. It's an absolute necessity. It's what stops you from getting those aches and pains that just completely pull you out of the zone. So do a quick check. Are your feet flat on the floor? Is the top of your monitor about at eye level? Little tweaks like this make a huge difference when you're studying for a long time.
And last on our environment checklist, get organized. Here's why this is so key. Clutter isn't just a physical mess, it's a mental one. Every single thing you can see in your workspace is competing for a tiny little piece of your attention. So by clearing your desk, creating a clean space, maybe setting up some zones for your stuff, you're literally freeing up mental energy for what actually matters, which is the learning.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From mental techniques to staying hydrated to just setting up your desk right. So now let's pull all these pieces together and see what this whole system looks like.
And here it is, your three-part system for studying smarter. It's this simple. Part 1, master your mind. Use Pomodoro for focus and interleaving for memory. Part 2, fuel your body. Stay hydrated and get serious about your sleep hygiene, especially with blue light. And Part 3, engineer your space. Make it comfortable, well-lit, and totally free of distractions.
And this right here might be the most important takeaway of all. None of these tips work in isolation. They're all connected. You know, a perfectly lit desk doesn't really help if you're dehydrated and can't focus. The Pomodoro technique isn't going to work very well if your back is killing you. But when you combine all these strategies, that's when you create this powerful self-reinforcing system where every single part makes the others even stronger.
Look, you don't have to change everything overnight. That's not the goal. The best way to get started is to just pick one thing. One thing from this whole explainer that you can do today. So what's it going to be? Maybe you'll try just one Pomodoro cycle. Or maybe you'll just go fill up your water bottle right now. Or maybe you'll take 5 minutes to clear the clutter off your desk. Whatever it is, the journey to smarter studying starts with that one small step.